All right, everybody, get ready, because today we are diving headfirst into the world of ChatGPT.
Ooh, ChatGPT.
You guys have sent us a ton of amazing articles about it, and to be honest, I got to know more.
Yeah.
I'm kind of hooked, but are we really on the edge of some sci-fi future?
Right.
Or is this just another tech trend that's going to fade away?
All right. Yeah.
Like some of those other things.
Well, let me just say, ChatGPT, definitely not a fad.
Okay.
It's already changing how we're writing, how we're doing research,
Wow.
even how we think about being creative.
Oh, okay, so
Yeah.
no robot overlords just yet.
No, not yet.
One of these articles described it as your own personal conversation buddy
Yeah.
who just happens to know a lot of stuff.
That's a great way to put it.
It's true.
It is.
It really is. It kind of makes it sound fun, though.
Well, and that's what's so fascinating is how accessible it's all becoming. It's
Right.
not just for the super techie people anymore. This user friendliness thing, this is big because it means that more people can actually use AI for everyday stuff.
Exactly.
It's like having a Swiss Army knife of digital tools right there in your pocket.
I do love a good multi-tool. I got to admit, though, when I first heard about,
Sure.
ChatGPT writing poems and code, I kind of had a robots are taking over moment.
It's a common fear.
It's true.
But it's good to remember that ChatGPT is just a tool.
Okay.
Yes, it can write text that sounds really, really human, but the real magic happens when humans use it well, strategically.
Okay.
The articles that you shared really highlighted how important human skills still are.
Yeah.
Things like thinking critically and creatively solving problems.
Right.
Those are things that even the smartest AI can't do.
So it's not about it replacing us.
Exactly.
It's about us learning.
It's about the teamwork.
To use it well.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Think of it as like a super powered assistant.
Okay.
It helps us work smarter.
I like that.
Not harder.
Yeah.
One of the articles even talked about using ChatGPT to write those customer service emails that we all love to hate.
Right.
Or even outlining blog posts.
Right.
It's like having a brainstorming buddy who never gets tired.
Okay, now that...
Sign me up for that.
That sounds super useful.
Yeah, right.
Especially that part about the tireless brainstorming partner.
Exactly.
I'm sold, but before I ditch all my notebooks for these AI overlords,
sure.
How does this thing even work? Do we have to learn a whole new language to talk to this thing?
You're gonna laugh because the key to unlocking ChatGPT is something called prompt engineering.
Prompt engineering.
And it's way less complicated than it sounds.
Prompt engineering? That sounds kind of, I don't know, a little intimidating.
Yeah.
Like I need to go back to school and get a computer science degree for this.
Not at all.
It's really just about learning how to ask ChatGPT the right questions.
Okay.
In the right way. Think of it like giving someone directions.
Okay.
If you just tell somebody, get me to the airport, they might get you there eventually.
Yeah.
But it's going to be a rough ride.
Sure, yeah.
You got to give them specifics, right?
Right.
Take Highway 101 North for 20 miles, then get off on Airport Drive, then
exactly.
you're going to get there.
Yeah, much smoother trip with the right directions.
Exactly.
Okay, that makes sense.
So be clear, be specific.
Okay.
That's it.
So it's all about being clear and specific with what you're asking.
You got it.
Okay.
One of the articles uses this really great example.
Okay.
If you just ask ChatGPT, tell me something cool.
Yeah.
You might get a random fact, but it might not be that cool to you.
Yeah, that's true.
Right. But if you're specific and you say, tell me something cool about marine biology.
Okay.
Now you're driving ChatGPT to give you something much more interesting, much more relevant. Yeah, you're giving it that context.
It's like talking to your friend, like, hey, I love documentaries about the ocean. What's something cool about that?
Okay, so it's more like you're having a conversation.
Exactly.
Not just barking orders at a search bar.
Yes, exactly. And just like in a good conversation sometimes.
Yeah.
You've got to give a little bit more information to get the best results back.
Right.
That's where this chain of thought prompting comes in.
Okay. Chain of thought prompting.
There it is again.
That's the second time I've heard that today.
Yeah.
It sounds very complex.
I promise it's easier than it sounds.
Okay.
Think about it this way. Imagine you're writing a blog post.
Okay.
Instead of saying to ChatGPT, write me a blog post, you're going to break it down into smaller steps.
Right.
First, you might ask it for some blog post ideas.
Okay.
And then you pick an idea. You say, okay, now help me make an outline.
Right.
And then you'd move on to the drafting, the editing, and so on.
So each prompt kind of builds on the last one.
Okay.
Creating this more structured, thought out response.
So it's like instead of asking for a 5-course meal all at once, you're saying, okay, well, what do you have for appetizers?
Exactly.
And then you pick, and then it's like, okay, now what about the main course?
I love that analogy. I'm stealing that.
Yeah, you're guiding the process the entire time.
You're the chef.
Okay.
ChatGPT is your sous chef, chopping the vegetables, preheating the oven.
I like that really makes it click for me.
Good.
But beyond just these writing tasks, right? What else are people using this for?
Right. Yeah.
What are some of its kind of less obvious talents? So we've talked about how ChatGPT works, the prompt engineering, the chain of thought prompting.
Right.
But I gotta say, I was really surprised reading about people using it for things like
Yeah.
personal growth, you know?
Yeah.
And even like language learning. Who knew that a chatbot could do all this stuff?
It's true.
Pretty wild.
One of the articles that you shared
Right.
talked about using ChatGPT as like a
Right.
digital sounding board, for thinking about yourself.
Okay.
Like imagine journaling about your day
Right.
or thinking about some goals that you have.
Right.
Or even like practicing those tough conversations that we all have sometimes.
Yeah.
All with the help of a neutral AI.
Okay, it's like a personal coach, but available all the time.
There you go. Yeah.
And way cheaper, probably.
Exactly. No monthly fees.
No monthly fees, that's right.
Right.
I gotta admit, though, the thought of like
Yeah.
spilling all my secrets to a chatbot
I know.
feels a little weird.
It's a little out there.
It's a little out there, yeah.
But think about it this way.
Okay.
It gives you a safe space, a
Mhm.
judgment-free zone to just explore what you're thinking and feeling.
Okay.
It can even help you spot patterns in how you think,
Yeah,
maybe challenge some of those assumptions that you have.
that's a good point.
Even role play, try out different ways of handling something.
So instead of just going over and over it in my head,
I can have this back and forth
yeah,
to
exactly.
try to figure things
Have
out.
a conversation with it.
Okay, that's a good way to put it.
Yeah.
And you mentioned language learning too.
Oh, yeah.
What's
Yeah.
that all about?
So if you're trying to learn a new language,
Mm-hmm.
imagine having translations in real time.
Oh, wow.
You can practice chatting with it,
Oh, wow.
get some cultural tips.
Okay.
It can be really helpful.
It's like having a study buddy
Exactly.
that's always there and ready to.
Always down to practice, never gets bored,
Exactly.
doesn't judge your pronunciation,
That's key, especially in the beginning.
especially at the beginning, right?
Yeah.
It's amazing to see how AI is like changing how we think about
Yeah.
technology and creativity.
Yeah.
It's not separate anymore, they're mixing together.
Yeah, it's really interesting.
Humans and AI working together, that's the future.
It's true. It makes you wonder.
Yeah.
What's next for all this? What fields are going to be changed the most by this?
It's exciting to think about.
It is. It really is.
It could change education, healthcare, how we work, how we make art. Really, the possibilities are endless.
Yeah.
But the important thing is that as we keep going with this,
Yeah.
we do it thoughtfully, responsibly.
Right.
We can't forget that tools like ChatGPT,
Right.
they're here to help us, not to replace us.
Okay, that's a really important thing to keep in mind. So,
Absolutely.
to wrap up our deep dive here into the world of ChatGPT,
Yeah,
it's user-friendly,
for sure.
it's super versatile, and it has the potential to completely change
Yeah,
the way that we work, the way that we learn, even how we grow as people.
absolutely.
That's a lot.
I think the biggest takeaway is that
Yeah.
AI is growing so fast.
It's true.
And it's up to us to use it the right way, ethically,
Okay.
use it to do good in the world. And
Yeah.
if we combine our human skills, our creativity, our empathy
Right.
with the power of AI, who knows what we can accomplish?
That is a fantastic note to end on. Thank you so much for joining us today on this deep dive, everybody.
Of course. Thanks for having me.
Absolutely. And remember, go out there, explore, let us know what incredible things you're building, what you're creating with ChatGPT.
Yeah.
Until next time,